this is the playoffs of the AfreecaTV Champions Cup. And this is a quarterfinal matchup between the blue Zerg top left-hand side from Onside Gaming Solar and his teammate in the bottom right, the red Terran player, is Maru. As we get going into what is a game one of this best of 5. This was on the playoffs. This was played, I believe, this around, what weekend was it? I'm trying to think when this was. I think it was 3 weekends ago, so the 6th of November, I want to say, is when this was played. There or thereabouts, roughly. So this was played around then. Like I say, we're just filling some time today. We've got qualifiers coming up in about an hour and a half's time, so just casting some matches until our next set of qualifiers are ready, and until we have more StarCraft to bring you live. So sit back, relax, enjoy some games. I'm sure a bunch of you might have seen these games. I have not watched them myself. Obviously, any spoilers, you will be insta-banned from chat. So be normal, be nice, and enjoy some games. Yeah, I mean, let's have a good time with it. Let's enjoy some SC2s, and obviously Solar Maru, pretty good matchup. Solar usually can put up a pretty decent fight against Maru in this day and age, and Maru usually does still get the better of him, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely no guarantee, right? I mean, if you're watching DreamHack Atlanta this weekend, I'm pretty sure Maru took the victory there, but only after an extremely hard-fought series. So yeah, to me, definitely a matchup that can go either way, so definitely no guarantee, even if Maru does come in as a favorite. And yeah, like I said, I didn't really follow this tournament too much when it was on, and it's been 3 weeks now, so I actually do not remember what happened in this one. So even better on our side of things. 2 Reapers on the way up, and that's going to be Maru building 2 racks at the front, so already going to open in a bit of a quirky way. Something you might not typically expect to be done from Maru, but yeah, he's going to bring it out, opening a little bit differently to expectations here. I kind of like it, you know? I can get behind it, and a bit more pressure than usual. This can lead into a nice strong bio follow-up as well. The couple of Reapers extra might catch Solo a bit off guard, allow you to do some damage. One of the things this is typically very good at is delaying the third base a little bit. It doesn't let Solo take a super fast third. Okay, I say this as he's taking a super fast third. If Solo didn't get the third base down already, it would now be very hard for him to put the third base down. Because he put the third base down already, he's a little bit slow in other stages, so the Reapers are going to be able to find damage elsewhere. So yes, the third base goes down pretty easily here, but that means he's going to have trouble elsewhere with these Reapers. Maybe they have more potential to then get something done. So yeah, kind of cool. Like I say, excited to see what Maru exactly does with the Reapers and see what the follow-up is especially. He's not too slow to go into the factory, but he is dropping the Reactor Tech Lab, so it looks as though we are going to start setting up those barracks with a little bit of tech as well. Obviously just some marine production, stim, probably just use the factory to start teching up towards starport and some medevacs, I would guess. As our Reapers jump to the high ground, realize there's really not much going on there, and hence they jump back down to the low ground. Alright, coming on the line, a little bit of back and forth, and just going to be playing with the queens. The Reapers end up coming back to the right side, and again, just running past a hatchery. Going to end up jumping into the main base instead. And I'm just going to be going for a little bit of a fight. Gets a single drone. I mean, good control, and these Reapers really just finding the opportunities that are there. He loses one. Oh, actually loses 2. The escape here was maybe not quite good enough. As I was about to say, it's been great with the Reapers. It's always been kind of very proactive with them. Really finding a fair amount with them as well, I would say. And yeah, I was kind of surprised, I guess, to see them going down as they did just then. I kind of thought Maru might have had it planned out, so he absolutely had the escape more or less guaranteed, you know? We'll just be seeing our Lings heading down. Bottom right, this is a full wall off. There's nothing you can do here. Maru spawned on the good side of the map to do this. Obviously, the reactor and the tech lab are inside of the wall instead of on the outside of the wall if he'd been on the other side of the map, so maybe that even is why he does this. If he was on the other side of the map, he might not have done this at all, because then his add-ons are exposed and this build doesn't work as easily. Then you've got to risk maybe your sim being cancelled, and then you can be in a whole ton of trouble. Aling's just pottering around then. We do see Maru. He's actually going into some Hellions, so we'll actually have... Oh, this is a bit of an off-timing of a build, huh? He's going to do a Hellbat Stim Marine push, I think. This is quite a powerful build, and it's really going to hit hard because I don't think Solo's going to have any idea about what's coming up. If I'm Solo right now, I'm ready for the Marines, I'm ready for the aggression on the ground, a couple of medevacs healing, etc. What I'm absolutely not ready for is the follow-up to that, which is the Hellbats as well, and that might just kind of tip the scales in Maru's favor. If Solo isn't quite prepared for that, there may be some trouble at hand. So that's one very interesting thing to look for, to be mindful of, as Marines and Hellions begin their way through the center. I'm just going to start nipping their way through this Overlord. Grab that nice and quickly. There you go. Again, the first Reaper of the Marines. The Hellbats pushing forward. The Marines will stim, and the few Banes bottling back for the moment, trying to stay at distance. So our Hellbats are going to be in some trouble immediately. A couple of them go down. As we pull back, we get rid of a creep tumor. We can just escape away there as Maru. So getting these units out and away. And it's going to be seeing everything brought down into the center of the map. Again, Marines, Hellbats, all trying to figure out just what exactly is happening. Obviously, are going to start up and just going to be seeing, obviously, again, Maru a little bit ahead on upgrades. In the end, this attack didn't really go as crazy as I thought. I thought he might have a bit more power, might really push through, but I wasn't really able to find that opportunity at all. As our units of Maru just continue to center up around the top side. And just going to see a little stim in after this hatchery that will get cancelled. A little bit of creep spread coming down as well as our Queens immediately in some trouble. A Ling gets picked off. A couple more Lings continue to squeeze on through, and it's going to continue to see Extractor taking some damage as well. A couple more Balins being picked away at here. And just going to be still having ourselves the back and forth as the Marines do get pushed away. The Widowmine's chased out of there as well. Yeah, Maru's not really able to break up this ramp. Good, solid defense so far from Solo. Really not letting this get too out of hand or anything. Keeping very good control, on this. That's what you need to do. I mean, you start letting Maru get out of control, get out of hand. It's so difficult to then slow the game down and to, get back on track against Maru. That Widowmine, oh my goodness. That's the sort of Widowmine that can then derail you as well, right? You lose like 30 supply to the mine, and Maru is absolutely going to start taking advantage of that as well, just consistently pushing you and keeping the action up and never letting go. So, yeah, that was very important to get rid of there. That could have been quite nasty, honestly. That could have been pretty bad. Spines is coming in on the Hydra Dents, just going to bring that Groove Spines up. That +1 melee and carapace upgrades continue in as well. Continue to bring that through as our Marines will stem forward. The few Banes and Lings come down the ramp. The medevacs immediately lift up and escape over to the right side. So the supply isn't ideal, I guess. His work account's not being out of control or anything this game, and look at the resources lost. It has been a bit favorable to Maru. Widowmine is denied before much happens, though, so that at least is some good news. That is, again, at this sort of stage, kind of essential, right? Otherwise, you end up in some trouble pretty quickly as the Infestation Pit and the Lurk Den will both go down. And Widowmine's going to have a pretty good time here. 8 kills, and they get to lift up and back away. So these mines get to stay around for later. And now you're starting to see the power of Maru's macro plus harassment combined. He's going to get a bunch more. They clump up, 5 more kills. Now you're really starting to see Maru really kind of hitting his stride, and Solar starting to stumble and fall because of it. Making some mistakes, some uncharacteristic errors. And Maru just, again, in the full swing of things, right? 176 to 167 supplies. So ahead on supplies, a Terran player still killing workers. Mines coming back in repeatedly. Just being so annoying and just, again, so patient with the rest of his army. Never rushing forward to get something done in an instant. Always kind of slow and meticulous and, just carving his way through creep spread meticulously and making sure he can get there. His Widowmine's friendly fire a little bit as they go in toward the bio, so that at least helps Solar out a little chunk or so. There's a couple mines on the left side that again picked off as well as more Widowmines come through, picking up a couple more drone kills. There's one last Widowmine shot that's going to go off for a few final Zerglings. Picking that off as well as the medevac escapes to the upper left-hand side. That Widowmine will burrow And that Widowmine will get 4 more kills as well. So again, just damage continues to rack on up here from Maru. He's now killed 21 drones this game. He's lost 17 mines, but the damage he's found has been pretty spectacular. And it's adding up, and it's keeping Solar back. It's keeping Solar busy. He's denying creep while he's doing it. His queens have tons of energy, and yet there's not really that much creep on the map. The creep is very limited for the state of the game. As Maru just going to split here and start fighting, let the Marauders tank some of those initial banes. The split is huge, all the way back as well. And Maru, nice big split, and obviously just getting further reinforcements showing up throughout this as well. We'll see, it's a short map rune down, so reinforcing through the center and getting your other units here on time actually does goes pretty reasonably. It's not really that crazy a thing. I'm just going to get in, and a couple of creeps tumors going to going down once again. Let's continue to pick through all of this for the moment as there's a few veins. Need to be careful. That Widowmine now got dragged back into everything else. There's a lot of Hydras here, but not really much else. Is that enough sturdiness for Soul to hold on? Does he have the DPS from them to really make a difference? Adrenal Glands is on its way, Seismic Spines as well. I do think Solar's got a good chance of seeing the Lurkers truly on the field and actually getting a chance to play. Maru, though, is setting up into the macro game behind this with the 5th base, the Ghosts already producing. Maru's preparation is just on point. It's exactly where it needs to be. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. And if he does that, it's hard for Soul to ever really catch a break, because the moment he gets to Lurkers, well, guess what? The opponent already has the answer to the Lurkers in the form of the Ghosts. The wine's going off, but Jaling being going down. Chris Red being denied. Keep on pushing through. The Overlord will go down. This hatchery is still being picked off. A little transfusion to try and buy some time is not going to do it. And now on the right side of the map as well. The top right base denied also. Suddenly we're down to 4 bases to Solar. Well, it really feels there was just a moment where Maru took control of this game, and since then he has refused to let go of the steering wheel. And he has directed this game number 1 exactly the way he wanted it to go. And he has not given Solar an opportunity, a breath of fresh air to get back in or anything. And again, the supplies aren't even really different, right? The supplies are kind of similar. It's just the control of the game that Maru has is really quite astounding and has given him so much value. Obviously, his army is starting to tech up big time as well. So when you look at the army values, it's actually pretty similar. That's pretty bad for the Zerg, who is, again, on a lot of lower tier units. That's just not good against those Ghosts, as there's the Lurkers morphing in. It's kind of what we need a bit of. They're going to be met by Ghosts already set to go, and SCV's already taking some time to repair up Medevacs as well, so they're not going to be easy pickings from Parasitic Bombs or just a couple of Hydras. So that is one thing that Solar was definitely working toward, chipping down that Medevac HP. It's going to be having our game, just a few units moving around, and Maru will continue up through the center. A bit of bio, a few Ghosts. See how this push goes for him, as he's just going to lead in with a little bit. Again, look how easily he can get across the map. No creep spread to slow him down until he gets to his opponent's ramp. And again, that's all because of the pressure he's applied up until this point. This is all, because of what he's created for himself, right? Maru is the one that's set up to reap these benefits, and reap these benefits he is definitely doing. Nidus on the right side of the map is coming up as well. Just a couple snipes coming down, hitting those Lurkers a little bit. We have that this set up there. A few Ghost snipes again. We get some Abducts, a Marauder, and a Ghost. I love that Ghost drops the EMP as it flies forward. May as well try to do something, anything that you can, right? And then continues through. Another Widowmine shot connected on some of those Lings, and again, our Bio just has to keep on kiting backwards. Well, Banes, a bunch of those Banes continue to go down as well. The Lurkers on the other side as the Ghost continues to run around in a couple of circles, try and see if he can escape those Lurkers. I mean, that Lurker counter is the one thing Solar's got going his way, shutting down some reinforcements and so on, but it's hard to imagine 4 Lurkers are really going to make the world of difference here. And as the Ghosts line up their snipes once again, some units from the other side, his Lurkers go down, and as they fall, I really feel like the hopes of this game of Solar are falling too. Again, he just doesn't have the army, the tech, to really keep fighting against Maru. It's not about the numbers. He has enough stuff. He just has the wrong stuff at this stage, especially with what Maru is playing with. Sola needs some incredible fights to kind of reset the tech of Maru to a point where his lurkers are truly going to be great once again. And I think that is the biggest issue for the moment. Ghost is going to pick away at the Nidus network. That will go down. The Marines get the kill. Again, just trying to deny these before they get set up. Make life easier for you, obviously. Less lurkers on your side of the map. Typically, the better this is going to turn into. So, again, definitely something to keep on thinking of. Boom, knocks down the Knight. It's going to be seeing 8 drones go down. Another Widow Mine drop. That is highly effective, and that's one of the things I think that really started this game so heavily into Mario's favor. A couple of mine drops that just found a few workers each, but that really consolidated into a real substantial lead as he drops over here, gets some drones. I feel like these Vipers, I was going to say, I thought these Vipers were going to get sniped before anything else, but actually he just dropped a single EMP on one of them. Didn't even have the big EMP radius, by the way. That upgrade's still missing, only just on its way now. Sola, lots of feelings there. He's on an equal supply, but he's rebuilding so much. Snipes on almost everything. The Ghost making full use of their energy, and Maru is going to take this first game, opening with a 1-0 lead. What a controlling game from Maru, from just honestly kind of start to finish, right? Like, he really just didn't let up. He really just went all the way throughout this and just kept the pressure rolling out. And Maru really bringing a bit of a fight here into this game number 1 in this series in general. And Maru is going to be taking the first of this best of 5 playoff match. I see a lot of people, guys, just asking about when these games are played. It's about the 6th of November or thereabouts. Yes, these are replays. We're just doing some replays while we wait for our Home Story Cup European qualifiers to start. Just kind of waiting on all of that. So, yeah, that's what's going on. It takes me a few moments here to just relog into games, guys, because I'm currently, obviously, casting old replays. And on the old replays, we had a patch which fixed some co-op bugs. That means replays don't load. We have to go offline to load the replay and that whole thing, so it's going to take me a little while to log back in, basically, after every single game we cast is what's currently going on. But otherwise, we are setting up for game 2. Just want to give it a few moments. I do have to run some ads, and it does make sense while I'm casting the replays to try and squeeze some ads in now, guys. The more ads I squeeze in now, the less we have to run ads during the Home Story Cup qualifier, which is happening in about an hour and 15 minutes, okay? So, probably going to just run a few ads, quite a few ads here and there. Honestly, I'm still just suffering from the stream reset earlier. We had like an hour of ad time banked up, and we had to reset the stream, so we lost it all, and then we had back-to-back-to-back really long matches, which kind of screwed us over a little bit, so, yeah. We did manage to go without ads during games, though, and that's our main goal. And, of course, if you do want ad-free viewing, you can subscribe. Any subscriptions this month go directly towards the WardiTV 2022 prize pool, so you can support players and more by doing that. And, yeah, help us try and stay above 700 subs as we're on the way back down again. It's a roller coaster, this sub train that we're on, I tell you that much. I tell you that much. Okay, it's about a minute or so, and we'll kick this game off. Oh, warm right now. 40 blink twice if you need help. From what? The StarCraft hold me hostage. Alright, just give it another 30 seconds, guys. I'm trying to figure it out with the stream delay as well, just how long I need to wait for the ads and stuff, so not going to be quite as smooth as I have been recently, but say such is life, I guess. We can only do what we can do. Oh. I want to take my hoodie off as well, I'm warm, but I will do that once we get in game. How long we got in? It's 2 minutes, 90-second delay. Game number 2 here on Tropical Sacrifice. So we get to the Zerg map pick of the opening games, and this one I feel pretty nice as solo then. Big map. Definitely one you can get to lurkers on, use lurkers well. We know Solo loves his lurkers, so it's definitely one thing we're looking at here. Maru in the bottom left. See what his plan is to play on this bigger map with. See if he has anything aggressive potentially planned or anything along those lines. Or if he's just going to be playing a kind of standard macro game. See if he wants to maybe crack out some mech or something. That's always a question mark we have lurking and lingering when Maru is in play, right? Will he play mech? Is that something he wants to do? It's definitely a possibility. Drone is just popping around and just going to be seeing our magic acid soon to be spawning pool on the way out on the side of Solar. So again, it's nothing really too mysterious or wild to begin with. It's it was obviously kind of interesting last game. Maru opening with the Reapers. I like Solar initially had a pretty good defense. I feel like he was doing well, and then it was just that one moment he sort of broke apart, right? There was just a moment where his defenses crumbled and everything came almost crashing down around him, and from there was a quick sequence of events to be pretty much GG's. Which was a little unfortunate, of course. It wasn't really a quick motion events, right? I mean, he lasted a while, he hung on for a while. He just never really quite had the army he needed, and if he'd won one big fight, he might have actually won the game, but winning one big fight when Maru's got an army that looks like what it did was going to be extremely difficult. Queens and Zerglings are in production and just going to be having a factory building up at the moment at the front. Do I not have health bars on, guys? Hang on. Did we not have health bars on last time? Am I crazy? I can't believe I went an entire game without health bars on. I'm going to say that that was a bug. You know what I think it might be? I wonder if it's because I logged back into NA and then, because this is offline, I took my NA settings and I was making a thumbnail on NA earlier. I wonder if that's it. There's no way we cast the entire last game without health bars. That's just something that I find so jarring. I refuse to believe it. I refuse. Command center on the way, starboard. Getting established. Reactor finishing on the factory. As we do get this underway. So again, so far so good. And nothing really too wild. I guess worth mentioning the triple CC, right? It is going to be a bit more eco-focused from Maru on this nice big map. He's not going to try and, you know, squeeze out any sort of major aggression immediately or anything along those lines. So I think this is pretty good going for the moment. Nothing too ridiculous. If you just want a good game of TVZ, I think this puts us generally on the right track. Queens of that, he'll stash the Hellions, gonna be seeing our Viking, Hellions, etc. I mean, with the Viking, you're gonna be able to clean up some of the Overlords, some of the vision of the Zerg players, so that's obviously a big benefit to you as well. Not only do they not know what you're doing, but you can maybe get rid of some of the Overlords that are spotting where you're gonna be attacking from. And maybe that gives you more potential with your other units as well, so again, a few things to be continuously watching out for. As that Viking grabs the Overlord, and our Hellions in good numbers from Maru, currently heading out across the center of the map. There were health bars last game. Thank you, chat. I know I wasn't going that crazy. I was going to say, like, there's no way I casted a whole game of SC2 without health bars and was just like, wait, what? There was no health bars though? That would have been ridiculous. Well, Hellions at the front, Queens taking a little shot of damage, couple of racks, couple of Evo chambers continuing up here. Hellions continuing through, and our barracks still producing on the side of Maru, so just into this bio play. Yeah, sticking to the kind of the straight up honest bio at the moment, not doing anything too, you know, too wild beyond that at the moment. We got the Queens to pick off a Viking though, which is obviously not ideal. Maru a little sloppy there, quite frankly. Queens get here. We actually do get a couple of drones at the very least. They'll get a grab, and the Hellions come through, picking off another creep teamer. This is going to come darting straight down, and our Marines are surrounded by these Zerglings. And 4 drones go down. Just going to see the Liberator come through and putting a bit of damage onto an Overlord. So some good damage dealt there. The Hellions get in. A couple of Zerglings picked off. So far, so good, as we just see our SCVs continue to drop. Again, Bane Nest, Lair, Hatchery, drones, lings, etc. all continuing in production for the moment. As our 1-1 upgrades and our Stimpack continuing through. Now, Hellions will get here to pick away at a lot of these lings. So those lings will now go down. Queens push the Hellions back again. Again, I mean, defense around the board is pretty consistent. Gonna get back to the center of the map here. Hellions will come forward and pick away at as much creep as possible. Honestly, that's one of the big things for Maru. If you can deny this creep spread, then attacking on the map later on is going to be that much easier. Finding positions to push in and, you know, ways to deal damage is going to come much more naturally. So that does become a bit of a priority to just kind of maintain that kind of lack of creep on the map and keep those pushing pathways open for you to utilize and develop as the game moves on. Now the Hellions again, this time with some Marine support, and again the scan immediately, the creep going down. Liberator Siege is on the upper right, Spore Crawler there pushes it back almost straight away. The few Banes come waddling down this ramp, looking for the Marines, and the Marines really are not having a good time, getting chased back a lot by the Banelings. And Solar is going to deal with the harassment on the right side at the same time, so yeah, Maru's getting shut down on all fronts. He leaves this attack with, what, 5 Marines and 2 medevacs. Went in with a lot more than that, and yeah, got what, maybe a couple more creep tumors. Nice, but probably the worst trade that Maru's had in a while. Resource loss kind of even here. Just a little costly for Maru, and again, not really getting much out of it at all. Things will clean up the rocks on the ramp. Marines still press forward. Just going to see a little bit of creep being picked away at. So that creep does get taken down. Again, Hydras, Lings, Banes all continuing through in the medevac, making its way up the right-hand side. And just going to be sitting there, waiting for its next opportunity, finding somewhere else to drop in. See if we can get some more damage done. He's going to stim across the right again. Here comes the medevac. Takes 1, 2, 3 queen shots. Actually has the full burrow. Uh-oh, Lings get blown up right there. And now the drone's in trouble as well. Great little connections to start us out. And Maru doing very well at the Widow Mine drop. Does this open a door for him? He's in the bottom right. Pushing on to creep, getting rid of some tumors initially. How far will he go? I mean, this is only Marines and medevacs. This shouldn't really do much. Solo has an entire fully fledged army here, so Maru really shouldn't be able to get much done at all. Finding Marines back through the bottom side. Just going to be seeing our medevac still boosting forward to the center. The Widow Mines inside of it there, as our Queens will continue to spread some creep. Another stem is going to see a bunch more creep spread being taken down again. Another Widow Mine gets burrowed up, and that one Marine chipping away at the Banes. We're just going to have our Widow Mines dropping straight across. Bang, 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 bang. 12 workers killed. Big damage dealt here, and another big Widow Mine. 8 more. Solar is dying to mines, and it was the, kind of what set him off on the wrong foot in the last game. And it's really having a pretty negative effect on him here again, as Maru tries to press forward with the larger army during this. Couple of mine shots going off. No more mines available now. Bane's getting very close to that army. Maru retreating away, and rightfully so. Can't really afford to stick around in that situation, as we are going to lift into the medevacs. Solo split a few units across the bridge already. Was wondering if he was looking to intercept or just get across the map in a bit of a spread. This one of mine came back online, but Solo at least was keeping the timer on it. Was aware of when it was going to fire a second time, and was able to pull away immediately, so minimizing damage taken in that regard. As a few more Banes crushed down by the Bioforce. Now these Queens immediately being met by the Bio as well. A lot of them continue to drop. Lings on one side, Hydra's on the other. Can we find a way to wrap around? Solo's supply again has just been plummeting the last few moments. Here we go one more time with the Ling Bane Hydra coming through. Widowmine shots are big, helping Solo quite a lot. Friendly fire was massive there. Lots of friendly fire on Maru's units, and Solo definitely taking a bit of momentum off the back of that. Straight across the map we go to take use of it as we force the base to lift up straight away. Solo seemed to be in trouble moments ago, and now here he is on the other side of the map, denying a base. Starting to push into the natural even. Are we actually going to go up this ramp? Yes, we are. He's got Banes to force the Bayous to split backwards. He's got even more Banes showing up. The Hydra's dealing damage behind this with no missile upgrades, though. Is it going to be enough to power through? Again, these Banes looking for connections. They're going to get right in the heart of this battle units, and 28 SCVs have gone down, and that's still dropping further. Solo takes game 2. We're tied up 1-1, and this series is going to go back and forth a bit, because, I mean, I really thought Solo was just about to die. Literally about 2 minutes ago in real time, I thought Solo was absolutely dead in this, but that's like only just started. I was like, no, surely not. On the left-hand side, again, the series tied up. I mean, really just took an amazing fight to start swinging things in his favor. It is Solo in the bottom left-hand side and keeping this series alive for himself. Otherwise, 0-2 down against Maru does not feel good. Does not seem hopeful. Let's see if he can, like I say, keep it going. Is in the top right side. Our red Terran player is Maru. Lord J, thanks so much for the 14-month resub. Happy December. A little early, but I'll allow it. Happy December, right back at you. Guess I don't see you the next few days. I'm gonna open 2 racks again. Wow. It's kind of unorthodox, right? Like, if this was like a Kelazur or Bjorn, I'm like, yeah, you know, I see these builds. They like their Reapers, they like the micro and all that kind of stuff. But, Maru? Maru's not really the kind of player I pen for doing this kind of stuff at all. You know, to me, Maru is the kind of guy that's going to play a nice, straight up, solid, standard macro game. And there's not really going to be many questions about it. It's going to be pretty darn normal. And really just nothing else, you know, so yeah, kind of surprised that he's kind of playing these, what I would call slightly off openers, I guess, just slightly different openers in general. Very interesting. Second Reaper starts up from Maru. Gets that underway. And so obviously we already saw this do pretty well in the first game. Wasn't like game-ending damage or anything like that, but set him up into a fine position and used it decently. I did think his initial kind of like surprise Hellbat attack was going to do a little bit better, you know, when he had the armory come in pretty late and just the Hellbats building behind the Marines. I thought that was going to catch Solo a bit more off guard, but he didn't really find much with that. It was really just a solid macro throughout instead. But, kind of pulled him through, and again, seemed to come off the back of the Widow Mine drops a little bit, but I don't think that's something we can say was 100% the reason. Just Maru in general was playing solid throughout those moments of the game. Let's come back in. Drone is going to get bobbed. First drone Ellie goes down. One drone does now go down. So Maru finds himself a kill. Yeah, type question mark. Wanted to press this. So a drone and a Ling so far. There is a third Reaper that's just now joining up. I'm just going to be putting some damage to the hatchery. We just hop up, Ling's going down. Marines continue through a couple of barracks, continue up as well, and that stim pack is going to continue in also as our Reapers come to the front. Queen will take some hits, And just going to be seeing our Queens continue to take some shots. A little grenade goes down, bouncing the Queens backwards. Just going to be seeing the Reapers escaping back through into the center, up to the left-hand side. Away they go as our Lings are there straight away to put more damage onto the Reapers. A bit of back and forth, a bit of up and down. More Marines building, stim pack on the way. Again, question mark of just... By the way, this time 4 Marines building, so there's no factory this time as quickly. In fact, there's 4 racks. So Maru, is he just looking to like bum rush solo with like a ton of Marines and like a super fast stim in combat? It's kind of a funny way to go about things, right? Like, this is just so not Maru, I think is my big statement here. Like, to me, this is just not how Maru plays. This is not what Maru usually stands for in StarCraft. This is like the anti-Maru almost. This build especially, I mean, the first game was like, yeah, okay, but this one is dirty, it's cheeky, it's, you know, just not what you, I guess maybe kind of more old school Maru in a way. Than modern day Maru, who just knows he's good enough to play absolutely sickeningly good games and doesn't need to mix it up like this all of the time. Let's take some shots. Marines making their way down. So the Lings realizing there's some units coming. What Consola's preparation look like here is, well, not even make banelings just yet. These Marines about to arrive. Combat Shield is not far from finishing short rush distance. So again, the preparation time is minimal for Solar. We stim in. We're going to go chasing after these Queens. The first one drops and Overlord died. Oh, the Queen's turn for a moment. Third Queen down, man. There's not enough Lings at all. These Marines are having a field day. Stimming straight on through. Every single Queen dead. Solar also dead. Maru takes a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Maru is going to be on match point in this playoff match. We have in the top right, needs to win this game to stay alive in this tournament. These are playoffs, obviously this is elimination matches, etc. In the top right side from Onside Gaming, the blue Zerg is Solar. On the left, the red Terran player from Onside Gaming. It's going to be Maru. C1 in the lead, looking for more. ZvT then at least a good map for Solar. Big, large bases aplenty. Definitely the kind of map where Maru... I mean, not that Maru's macro game is something you want to be playing against. You know, Maru in a macro game can absolutely overwhelm you, can absolutely be terrifying. Not somebody you want to be messing with on a daily basis, but... You have to say it should, in theory, push things in your favor a bit as a Zerg player. You should have some chances. You should have a way to take a lot of bases here. SCV of Maru coming across the upper right side of the map. Early game just nice and peaceful. Damn, after that, after the Reaper builds, there's a lot less going on early. I mean, I guess Reaper builds don't have much going on just yet either, right? But you know, I guess we were expecting something big to start happening. This game, it really is just kind of, you know, looking as though we're just going to have the Reaper dance with the Lings, and apart from that, it's going to be pretty peaceful early on. Things get turned around. Reaper takes quite a few shots. This Reaper turns back to the front. Our third hatchery gets building over here as well. So just gets that up and running. Starport just gets finished at the front as well. Factory so over to the reactor. Barrett's going to land as well. Again, so far pretty peaceful, pretty alright. Not really all too exciting, pretty chilled for the early few moments at the very least. As this little Reaper grenade comes in, pops a queen around, and the creep spread just coming down the ramp to get going now as the Reaper's already been pushed back, so you can pretty safely get there, knowing that this shouldn't be too much of an issue. Drones coming through, Link speed building up. Again, just going to see the couple of Hellions, the Viking all getting produced as well. Maru, again, just a pretty, going from these kind of much more aggressive, kind of feisty openings to the much more kind of standard openings. This is very akin to what we played on the previous map on Tropical Sacrifice. He's going to drop a Fusion Core in here, though. So we'll have a little bit of mix-up on the agenda. I can help deny this Overlord. Did that Overlord get to see the third CC? Yeah, so Skull just getting some good information then. Let's pick up on that if nothing else. And that at the very least is quite nice as our Fusion Core's about to finish. Hellions coming through, SCV's on the way. I see the Reaper and 2 Hellions here from Maru. Looking forward just a little bit, trying to see what they can get up to. The battle cruiser beginning on the side of Maru as well. Bringing the Hellions, get rid of a Zerglings, just gonna knock that down immediately. Easy pickings. Drone, Zero Chambers. So as the macro game getting set as well. Again, the BC is not going to be fully kind of mech or anything. This is going to be a BC into bio. I always like a good old bit of BC in a bio, right? You know, to me, BC in a bio is always a lot of fun. You see that Stimpak coming up. You're going to have the BCs able to harass, and the bio can kind of follow on from there. Two more barracks continue to produce, and now Reaper and Hellions come to the top side. We get in, we deal some damage. Hellions picking away at a couple of those queens. A lot of Hellions, the BC teleports straight on in here. The queens are pretty quick to respond though. With the Lings here as well, can Solo really do okay? Some of those Lings kind of ran past the Hellions when they could have done was just jumping straight on top of them. Rework is lost. Quite a lot of the Lings go down, but the Hellions are deflected. The BC is being chased down as well. I feel like this is a pretty good defense from Solo, only losing 4 drones. And maybe I spoke too soon. The Hellions get back in to make it 6. That's why you just don't want to have too much more damage taken, right? Just don't let this do more than it needs to. You know, get some good damage done. Make that good damage an advantage. Don't make that good damage just reason to then slip up and, let your opponent actually get further damage or whatever. Melee upgrades building now on the side of Solos. The queens are here, pushing the BC out through to the top right yet again. Just going to be seeing a few more racks, the armory. All of this being brought up as a single Hellion. Little hit squad comes in, snipes down a Zerglin. Just going to be seeing this Viking moving back over the bottom left side as well. So all of that continues through. Game in general just settles down here on Data C. Map number 4 of this best of 5 series between Solar and Maru. BC showing up from behind the mineral line, just going to nab a drone or 2 and then teleport on out of there pretty much straight away. We rock on in with these few Hellions, getting rid of some creep spread as well and just picking off as much of this as possible. More creep going down. Just going to be some combat shields about to finish. And plenty of Marines producing out from Maru right now. He is on just the 8 racks. He started up a 4th base. So he's got a follow-up kind of base behind this. He's looking to expand potentially. he knows he might not end the game on this kind of purely 8-racks Marine-based aggression, so knowing that he maybe needs the future command center, he's still pretty committed for a little bit here, though, right? He's still delaying other tech and stuff, and, you know, being quite aggressive with this group of units. Moving forward, the Ling Bane coming to wrap around and actually hitting a lot of the Marines. It's going to be a good shutdown from Solar at a time where it's most necessary, obviously, with this, like I said, just the aggression setting up. We do lose the BC as well, though, from Maru. A little sloppy. A very uncharacteristic error to be losing the battle cruiser. That is not a mistake you usually expect Maru to be making. Marines continue to stem through. Creep Jimmy is going to go down. We get to the frontier, moving up this ramp. I'm just going to sit here. I thought after taking some losses he might actually have been forced backward, but apparently not just yet. Now it seems to be the time he wants to load, pull back. Also has the tank behind the rocks there to support the tank that's in front. Try drop the main. There's a spore relocating, but it's not going to be there in time. So the medevac's just kind of slip past it, no issues. Tanks continue to siege these Marines. I'm going to make a move forward towards some of the Queens here. And try and see what we can do as our Marines sim straight in toward this mineral line. Couple of drones immediately in trouble. And our Bellings are pulling back for a moment. Again, a little bit more of this creep being denied. And here we go. Big Ling Bane forced on to roll on through. Straight through with the Lings on top of some of these tanks. The Marines pull back, but the Banes get picked off. Solo wanting to press on through here. The Marines taking even further damage. The Ling Bane of Solar still producing. Again, just spreading these Marines out, keeping them safe. This siege tank will press forward as well, getting sieged up right now. Come straight through, just going to go grabbing a few of these Marines. The siege tank will get picked off as well. It's just going to take that down. 3, 4 drones. Continue to get picked away. Make it 7, in fact 9. SCVs are continuing to just get beat on up. Good run by from Solo as Maru still maintains that position on the other side though. Does not want to give up that location at all apparently. Understandable. I mean, it's a nice position to have. It's just, I thought he would have been pushed back and broken out of it by now. I thought Solo might have had a play to really break through that location, you know? Thought we might have been through that a little more easily at this point. Marine sit here. Lings come in from a couple different sides. Our tanks sitting behind the rocks, and our Marines load up. Gonna boost away. Our Lings and our Banes continue forward. The siege tank gets sieged up. The Bane's getting crushed down. Oh, the Bane's gonna find a lot of these SCVs. A lot of damage being dealt. Okay, again, Solo finds some good hits. Seems to be fairly in control of Data C for the moment. I mean, like I say, Mario's holding this position. I guess the creep isn't everywhere. I say he's in control. He's doing okay. He's having his own statements, but I guess it's not kind of like, you know, if he was in control, he'd have creep much further out of in front of his bases. He'd probably have a 6 base on the way. I think these are things that Solo's not quite been able to get to. And that's because Maru's just controlled this main area in the middle. And so Solo's main attacks have been focused on counterattacking. This I don't like as a fight. He was so late in from the left side with the rest of these units. And the Marines just getting to split off. Creep against Banelings traded great. It's an unnecessary fight from Solo. Not even, I mean, maybe necessary to break this position, but unnecessarily early on the right side, the left side to be trailing behind. I just do not understand why the left side trailing would be that far behind, right? You need to come in at the same time. That's when these sort of flanks are at their most effective. This really gave Maru the chance to just split and fight one direction, and then fight the other a little bit as well. Loading onto the watchtower again and keeping an eye out as we just see our Lingbane Hydra coming through. We've got our Marine stimming, and tanks will get siege. You want to turn onto those Bane lanes. Bane's taking quite a lot of damage, actually. A lot of them going down. Good job from these Marines to do so well there. I'm just going to keep on pushing through. I mean, Maru's still kind of on the run a little bit. Going to turn back around, fighting back here with these Marines, chasing some of the Hydras. Hydras are very vulnerable. If they don't have anything to tank for them, which these ones don't, there's a chance they can get a lot of valuable kills there very quickly. As Maru, 15 Marines at a time, is still such a low-tech army. As Solar is finally finding better tech as well. Viper's on the way to help deal with the tanks, and Adrenal lands coming up. Eventually 3-3 as well, perhaps to match the upgrades of the Terran player. That's what Solar needs, just ways to deal with this kind of Marine force, because it's not high tech. It's just a lot of stuff that's getting set up at the moment. There you go, Lingbane gonna come straight on through, just gonna push on down and, well, just try and break this position again. All of these fights have to up and off creep for Soul, and he doesn't have enough Banelings to reach the Marines, so Marines will be left chasing down the Hydras. Oh no! Solar losing so much that he has to leave the game. Wow, I mean, that's brutal, no? I mean, this is a fight where, I mean, going into, like I say, Solar's in maybe not the best position. He's holding this base here. This is base 5. He's got base 6, 82 drones. Not a lot of money in the bank. Army supply down, obviously behind in upgrades. He kind of does need to fight this, but yeah, it's just, again, because there's no creep, all of these Banes are coming in at the same time. These ones, if they were already here, maybe would have had a chance to connect. Not a single Baneling hits a Marine. I think 1 or 2 Marines died to Baneling fire, and that's just enough to completely overwhelm this position. And just to actually knock Maru down and just, try and knock Maru down, but then Maru says, nope, I've actually got enough to hold on against this, and Solar cannot make it happen. GG's, and Maru takes the 3-1 victory in this playoff best of 5.